Alright, well, welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about eggs, hard-boiled eggs specifically. When my wife and I were thinking about starting the carnivore diet, one of the things that we were hesitant about was, what are we going to eat for snacks, like when we get hungry? We're not going to have a steak for a snack. Well, initially we thought of beef jerky. It's expensive, so we started making our own. And right away we started eating more eggs than before. Now, I don't know if people are super hardcore carnivore diet, don't eat eggs, or you do eat eggs. I don't know how big a deal it is, but it's 0 carbs still, so it shouldn't be that big a deal. Eggs are great, power-packed with nutrition, and if they're boiled, extremely portable. Now, if you're like me, I've worked in kitchens a long time, in the home and outside the home, and there's always these myths about how to take the shell off the egg after you've boiled it. Shock it in ice water, boil it in salt, let it soak in water, all these different things. And sometimes they work. Like most of the time, I will boil my eggs with salt and shock them in ice water, and most of the time that works. But when it doesn't work, it's really frustrating, and there's no explanation for it. We're going to solve that problem. My wife and I have been experimenting, and we have the secret to the hard-boiled egg. The secret is lemon slices or lemon peels. So my wife likes lemon water in the morning, and so she saves these peels and puts them in the water, and she has yet to peel an egg with these lemon slices in them, and the shell just comes off super easy. So that's what we're going to do this morning. So our water is almost ready. I put the lemon slices in. So for doing this, doing it this way with the idea specifically to get the shells off easy, we're going to bring the water up to a boil first. I generally don't like doing that because the egg shells can crack from the shock, but I have another hack. So hack number 2 coming right up. Okay, our water is boiling. So for the next little hack, to get our eggs in here without cracking, you want to let them in nice and easy, but I also like the idea of putting them in the water, letting them get nice and tempered, so to speak, just so they don't crack. We're going to do 6 eggs. Oh, that one cracked. What do you know? My hack doesn't work. Okay, so I've done 2 batches of eggs. First batch was with the lowering the eggs into the hot water via this slotted spoon thing, and it did not have the effect that I wanted. What I was wanting were eggs that would not crack, but as you can see, they definitely cracked. I've started peeling a couple of this batch of eggs, and I actually think that the cracking has made it harder to peel because the structure in the inside of the egg is malformed now. So what I did was, obviously seeing that the eggs were getting deformed, I made another batch of eggs, started them in cold water with lemon slices, and just to see. Now obviously, if you know anything about eggs, starting them in cold water pretty much cures the cracking, but I just wanted to see if there's any difference in the peelability of it. Now these peel really nicely, but they're all funky looking. Okay, put that aside. This is the batch. I made 3 extras that are started out in cold water. I always like peeling my eggs over water because keeping the eggs wet. Oh, now this is peeling really good. The egg didn't crack. It's peeling just fine. I'd also like to add that none of these batches of eggs had any salt in them, because that's a myth. I don't know if it's a myth or it might be true, but I wanted to rule it out. Look how nicely that just peeled right off. Okay, so there's the conclusion. The conclusion of the video is, without salt and without soaking them in ice water or shocking them in ice water, we were able to achieve really good peelable eggs with just the lemon peel. Now, if you don't like your eggs turning out all funky because the shell cracked, just go ahead and put them in cold water first and let them come to a boil. If you're going for a hard boil, this is not a problem. If you're timing your eggs for soft or medium or whatever, that might make it a little bit harder to time the egg, but for a hard boil, might as well. If anybody has any tricks on how to keep the eggs from cracking as you put them in the hot water, the boiling water, let me know, because I'm super curious about that one.